today on Dr. Phil.
I may be a pageant mom, but I'm not crazy.
Is this your daughter?
Yes.
And how old is she?
11.
She's bleached their teeth and dyed their eyelashes.
It's very safe.
Yeah, what's the FDA know? As long as your hairdresser said, honey, it's okay.
Is this mom protecting her kids from online predators?
You allowed a post talking about doing a sexual act to my daughter's picture. That is wrong.
Or is she the one exploiting them?
This is your Facebook page.
That should have been locked.
This is your daughter. You just sat there and told me these were all locked. I've clicked on two. They're open with provocative poses.
I don't think that's a provocative pose.
Oh, let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phill.
Wilson, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4,
This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Go, Dr. Phill.
How you doing? Hey, guys. How are y'all? Hello? Well, have you recently heard some off-the-wall story that left you scratching your head and wondering, what the hell were they thinking? Well, my guests today have all made headlines for engaging in, well, shall we say, highly questionable behavior. Now, from a mother who had sex with a 14-year-old boy to a pageant mom who was criticized for dyeing her daughter's eyelashes and bleaching her children's teeth. When I said dyeing I mean eyelashes. I'm not talking about eyebrows, I'm talking about eyelashes. With this, which says, this product is designed to be applied exclusively by licensed professionals. She is not. Use only as directed. Avoid contact with skin and eyes. Take a look.
My kids absolutely love doing pageants.
This is my favorite crown out of all of them. It's because I won Ultimate Grand Supreme.
We go to pageants to win.
Losing makes me feel sad.
If we were just gonna go have fun for the weekend, I would just take them to Chuck E. Cheese because it would be a lot cheaper. I'm proud that my kids are so good at pageants.
I like the spotlight and the glitz and the glamour. That's why pageants are good for me.
One thing I do enjoy about the competition is preparing for it. You can have hair extensions, falls or wiglets, false eyelashes, false nails. Alaska's very fair-skinned. Her eyelashes and her eyebrows disappear, so I dye her lashes. I use this little brush. I separate her lashes. It's perfectly safe. If you get it in your eye, it stings just like maybe shampoo would. One time on a television show, she was not sitting still. She was like, oh, it hurts, stop. And of course, that was on the show. So everybody's like, oh my God, she's killing her kids. Braxton gets a little manscaping. He'll even look in the mirror and say, I think I need my brows done, Mom. I only ever whiten the kids' teeth about 5 times. Of course, when I found out this is bad for baby teeth, immediately stopped. Braxton and Chandler's dad is African-American and German. When I was pregnant, I was a little nervous about if they were going to inherit their father's kind of crazy curly hair. So I did rub my belly and say, please have good hair, because I don't know what kind of styling products to use on kinky hair. When they came out with straight brown hair, I was like, yes, less work for me. We probably spend about $15,000 to $20,000 a year on pageants. Alaska's pageant dress cost me $1,100. Our coach is $140 an hour. We are not rich people. It's kind of ridiculous to spend all this money to have a bunch of strangers tell you that your kids are pretty when we already know that, but that's beauty pageants.
Okay, you were equivocating about something in the tape. What was it?
The bleaching of the teeth. It was just tooth whitening gel. And of course, as soon as I found out you can't do it, I immediately stopped.
Well, that was all you talking in the piece.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard me read this when you were out here.
I know.
This lash and brow tint, This product is designed to be applied exclusively by licensed professionals. Are you?
No.
So you're not a licensed professional, but
No.
you're putting this around your children's eyes anyway.
The girl who we usually get our hair cut by, she used to do it, and I watched her several times, asked her, said, she goes, honey, you can do this at home and save you a bunch of money. We're not rich people, so I try to scrimp and save any way I can. It's very safe. It's made out of vegetable extracts. Alaska sits there very still, and she's in capable hands.
Yeah, what's the FDA know?
Well,
As long as your hairdresser said, honey, it's okay.
yeah.
Look, here's the FDA warning. Permanent eyelash and eyebrow tints and dyes have been known to cause serious eye injuries, including blindness. There are no color additives approved by FDA for permanent dyeing or tinting of eyelashes and eyebrows. You say you are addicted to these things. You says you guys are addicted to pageants and you want to win.
Well, yeah, you don't do a pageant to lose. It's hard. You don't just walk up on stage and walk across it. There's a lot of work. You don't do anything in life to lose. You put your best foot forward and you do the best you can. But they are kind of addictive because you would go to one and then there's paperwork for another one. And you're like, oh, well, that looks like fun. I'm not addictive, but they are addicting.
You started Braxton at 18 months?
And Chandler, my 10-month-old, he started when he was 2 months.
Because he wanted to.
No, he didn't want to.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm not delusional.
Yeah.
I may be a pageant mom, but I'm not crazy.
When Lori made national headlines
There he
for
is.
dyeing then 9-year-old daughter's eyelashes on a reality show, she says her daughter's pageant picture ended up on what she calls an adult website. And now she's in the news again. Take a look.
Lori Matthews wants to know how a picture of her 9-year-old daughter ended up on an adult website where a man explains how he performed a sex act while looking at the picture of her daughter.
Sick. And it's about a child.
A child who has been in the national spotlight before.
Featured on the popular TV show Toddlers and Tiaras.
Law enforcement agencies say the post, while disgusting, isn't illegal.
If there isn't a law about it, there needs to be one.
Matthews says that some claim she is to blame and that she made her daughter a target by allowing her to participate in pageants and the TLC show.
Well, Lori and her fiance Jay blamed the dirty.com for exploiting her daughter for the sake of a bunch of what she calls sickos. Take a look at this and then we'll talk about it.
I was absolutely horrified. I'm thinking there's some sicko out there doing stuff to my daughter's image.
The fact that my daughter's picture is on this website makes me completely sick.
I was scared for her. I was disgusted by it. I was confused. I don't understand how it would even get on there.
It seemed to me that that would be illegal.
And I immediately called the police.
The attitude of the officer was, you put your kids in a situation, they're public figures now, and pretty much you got what you deserved.
I emailed the owner of the website several times, pleading, please just take this down. I want Dr. Phill's help to get this post taken off this website.
Okay, when something happens that you don't want to happen, I work backwards and look for the first link in the chain. Where's the first link in this chain?
Probably the internet. I mean, you have Facebook, you have social networking. Anybody's picture could end up anywhere.
Let me look at some of the pictures of your daughter.
Yep.
And how old is she?
11. She's at a pageant surrounded by pageant people. She's not walking down the street going to Walmart looking like that.
She's on a
lot
reality
older.
show looking like that.
Yeah, she
That
was on
is
a show.
Walmart, lady.
Yeah, yeah.
And I looked at the costumes that you had up earlier, which I thought were astoundingly inappropriate, some of them for an 11-year-old child.
I don't. There's swimwear events. Was it a swimwear? Maybe.
You think that's appropriate?
For a pageant? Yes.
Is that, do you have a Facebook page?
I do. My children don't. I
Do you put your children's pictures on your Facebook?
No, they're all blocked. Like, let's say I take pictures or I have stage shots. You can lock them.
How old is she here?
Let's see. That was 2 years ago.
So she was 9.
9. Yep, because that's her older swimsuit.
I'm sorry. That's a link in the chain. That's a link in the chain. We got to take a break. So why wasn't the picture immediately taken down off of this website? Well, we're going to talk to the owner of thedirty.com, who says Lori is the problem, not his website. We'll be right back.
When I first saw the post, I was really sick about it. I have a 2-year-old child. This is a mother putting their daughter out there for her own selfish purposes. I think it's disgusting.
And later, this is your daughter.
People want to see how good of a tan I can give their kids, so obviously I'm going to put a picture.
You just sat there and told me these were all locked. Go to the albums, mister, and you'll see they're all locked. I just go to the albums. I've clicked on 2. They're open with provocative poses.
When I saw the website and the article and my daughter's picture next to it, I felt kind of guilty. It's almost like I put them out there to have something like this happen to them. I had to kind of pull myself back in and say, this isn't your fault. It's the fault of the person who allowed it to make his website a little bit juicier.
Lori says she was disgusted when she saw her daughter's picture on thedirty.com, along with some risque comments. But the creator of thedirty.com, Nick Ritchie, says he blames Lori 100% for the post being created. Take a look.
Dirty.com is a gossip site. Real people from all over the world upload content. When I first saw the post, I was really sick about it. I have a 2-year-old child. It was kind of a gut check to myself whether I was going to publish it or not. But I decided to pull the trigger because I really wanted the mothers of America to understand that this is a mother putting their daughter out there for her own selfish purposes. I think it's disgusting.
Okay, Nick from thedirty.com is joining us. Far be it from me to defend some damn gossip website, because I don't like gossip websites, because I'm usually one being gossiped about. But I've known Nick for 4 or 5 years. You're looking at a man that would not exploit children. That's not who he is.
But the post was sexually based.
What do you say?
Very much so.
Well,
So.
thedirty.com is a gossip site, first and foremost. When you say adult, that first thing people think is porn. This is not a porn site.
Do you have children?
Yes, I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Would you let your 2-year-old look at your website?
I wouldn't put my daughter in a position where she's exploited on a national level to be forced into adulthood, which is what I feel you're doing.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's your opinion.
That picture was taken from the show.
Yeah.
And by the way, the picture that's posted is not risque or racy.
No. But did you read the post about what the gentleman did?
Yeah, and I don't know if he was...
Lori, but
he's doing a sexual act to my daughter's picture that you allowed on there. I don't care if none of these people like what we do.
Do you read what was
written? This is beyond pageant. The fact is, you allowed a post from a man saying he 2 freeze frames of my daughter.
From the TV show.
Period. You allowed it.
From the TV show.
You allowed it.
From the TV show.
You allowed it. And then, to boot, let's add a picture of her on there.
It's submitted.
That is wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
I understand where you're coming from.
Wrong.
Okay.
Just take it down. That's all
Can I speak?
I'm asking. Okay?
Can I tell you my side?
Thank you.
Because when I first got the post, Dr. Phill, I was really on the fence. Because you know me, it's like I have a daughter. I understand your frustration. No one wants to see their child put in that situation.
Then what you do?
But Lori, you put your...
No, wait, let him speak.
Okay.
He
I'm
lets
sorry,
you
you're
speak.
correct. I'm sorry. I will have manners. Speak. I'm so sorry.
I looked at where this post originated from. Where is this coming from? It's not from my website. This is from a TV show that this guy was watching, and he was crying out to help to me to say, hey, I made a mistake and I need help. My whole thing here, Dr. Phill, was that if I post this, maybe another mother that watches this television show and looks up to someone like you, I want other mothers out there to see this and say, okay, well, I don't want to exploit my children because this can happen. It was about exposing the situation so other mothers can learn from your mistake.
I didn't.
You
I've
made
never
a mistake.
made a mistake.
You're forcing your kids to become
force my
adults.
children.
You're forcing your kids to become adults.
It's like a play. So if your
It's
little
not a
daughter
play.
wanted to play Snow White, you say, oh, nope, Snow
When you're
White's
dressing
an
a
adult.
9-year-old
You can't go
child
on a
into an
stage.
adult, because this is your
an event.
No, this is your fantasy.
No,
this is
it's
you
not.
missing out on your
No,
child.
it's
Let me ask you-
not.
let me ask you a
Because when
question.
they want to quit pageants, I'll be like, hallelujah.
Let me
because it's
ask
a
you a
lot of
question.
work.
Are you upset that this was posted on this gossip website, or are you upset that this man saw your daughter on television and used her as a sexual stimulus? Because all of that happened before he ever got involved. And I don't hear you talking about that. I don't hear you saying, you need to take that post down and I need to get her off that television show because predators are responding to her.
And she went to the news first, Dr.
There's
Phil. She didn't come to
predators
me.
everywhere. I cannot keep my children in a box. I teach them stranger danger and things like
If you
that.
would answer my question.
I'm upset that this gentleman can decide what he sticks up there. And he
Well, this is
stuck it up
America.
there.
I mean,
But she's a little girl.
the picture that was
Yeah.
posted was not inappropriate.
No, that was taken from the show.
But I got to take a break. When we come back, we'll discuss this.
Lori is a very extreme pageant mom. I personally think that she's a lunatic. Lori dyes her daughter's eyelashes darker, causes blindness. When you put your children in danger, that's not good parenting. That's actually child abuse.
And later, we did not ask your child to write a letter. That is an absolute wrong statement. We did not ask your child to write a letter. If you want me to get the producer out here and you can look her in the eye and say that she told you that, I'll have her come out.
Okay.
My question before Nick ever got out here is I said that there were pictures that I thought were inappropriate for a child and provocative poses and that sort of thing. I've never understood that about pageants. And I get letters from pageant moms saying that I'm some kind of ignorant hillbilly, which is fine. But if it takes being an ignorant hillbilly to recognize when a child is being provocatively posed in revealing clothes, dressed up to look like they're 25, then so be it. And I ask you if you think that you're a link in the chain here, that putting your daughter out there in that arena, do you recognize that that comes with certain risks?
There's a big difference between us doing national pageants and then being on a reality TV show. Doing the reality TV show, I did cross the line when we went to reality TV because it went from the small stage of a hotel somewhere to being filmed and shown. So yes, I'm a link there because instead of being guarded in a pageant community, she ended up being on TV.
All right, well, this is one of the posts that was on thedirty.com. It said, Nick, I love how they keep saying it's an adult site. They are making it sound like it's posted on a porn site for a bunch of pedophiles. Alaska's mom is a bitch. I decided.
That's what he wrote.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was Nick's signature at the end of
That's
that.
what I said, and the reason
am I a bitch?
the reason I said that. No, the reason I said that, Dr. Phill, is because instead of her coming to rectify the situation, she went to media and garnered more attention to herself, tried to get the media involved, getting more exposure to the situation for her daughter and making the post bigger and larger than life than it had to be.
That's not true. I have a typed
After
out
the fact.
email of all the
After
times I
the
messaged
fact.
you pleading.
After the
I
fact.
gave it to the producer. She has it. It's all printed out. Dear Nick, please take my daughter off the site.
Can I
4
talk?
days
Can I talk?
before
Can I talk?
it went to
That's not what they told
blew
me.
up.
The reporters.
It's on black and white.
They even said in the news, on the news, that they told you how to get in contact with me because they were trying to help you.
Did you know the news first?
No,
Before
I
you tried
called
to
the
reach Nick?
police. Was my
So
first
you
thing
called
I
the police,
did.
then you called the news, then you called Nick.
No.
You reached
no,
out
no,
news,
no, no, no.
police, news, and Nick?
Nick.
That's a lie.
When the police said, "Oh, we can't help you,"
So you
I'm
went-
like, "Okay, what do I do?" So then
So
I
you
went to the
news.
captain.
No, you
then
went to
I
the
went
news.
to the captain
You went to the news
of
and
my
said that-
police, and he said we will go through BCI.
You
to
went
find
to the
out.
news and said,
Then
my
I
child
went
is
to
on a porn
ABC
site.
on your side. Can you help me? They contacted the Attorney General's office.
And you blame me.
Then.
You blame me.
And all this time, I'm emailing, not emailing you. It says, post a comment. And then you have to decide whether you put it underneath all those
Okay,
other
well, this was all
comments.
after the fact.
There is a printed
Okay, well, it doesn't matter
paper.
because I wouldn't take it down anyways.
And that
I wouldn't take it down
really
because
sucks,
it's
because I thought everybody had something inside of them that says this is right.
no, because I'm not hiding the fact that there's sexual predators out there that get off on this stuff.
It's disgusting.
Let me finish something here. You told me that your Facebook page was blocked from strangers, right? That is not true.
Yeah, my albums, a lot of them are locked.
When you see these things, this is your Facebook page. You control your Facebook page.
Tag me.
You're not seeing the bigger picture. You're being very selfish, and I honestly.
I didn't ask for your help. I asked for Dr. Phill's help.
Okay, but you're not getting anywhere because I think what you're doing is a form of child abuse. I really do.
Well, did my kids look abused? Having
No,
a
but
ball?
I see
They have
friends.
So much
I see
fun.
these other girls that are younger than your daughter, dressed very inappropriately, and you're saying that they're friends.
Their mothers.
You wanted us to go to the albums.
There we go. I'm selling clothes.
All right, hold on. Can we click on All Stars National 2013?
That should have been locked.
Oh no, it's.
Is there anything wrong there?
Well, other than that you lied about it being locked, that would be. I'd put that on the wrong side. I'm sorry?
I thought they were all locked. I don't like putting pageant pictures
Well,
up
maybe you should
because
spend a little more time cleaning your own house instead of worrying about Nick's.
I'm not worried about Nick's house.
I'm just saying.
I'm worried about my daughter on Nick's house.
And I'm worried about your daughter's mother putting her out there and doing the things that you're doing. To me, I don't think it's healthy.
Well, that's your opinion. That's fine.
Well, you came here to get it.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd help me.
All right, let's look at Tanning by Lori. Is this your daughter?
Yes.
This is your daughter?
Mm-hmm. People want to see how good of a tan I can give their kids, so obviously I'm going to put a picture.
You just sat there and told me these were all locked. Go to the albums, mister, and you'll see they're all locked. I just go to the albums. They're open with provocative poses.
I don't think that's a provocative pose.
Whoa.
That's a
the
pageant
problem.
pose.
That's the problem.
And in the
you don't-
pageant community, that's acceptable.
Forget the bleaching, forget the eyelash tinting. There was one thing Lori asked her daughter to do that really, really upset me. Now, I say she asked her to do it. I bet she disagrees. We're going to find out when we come back. This is a letter that I got from your daughter. Okay?
She had me sit down
I'm sorry?
and help her.
She what?
She wanted to write you.
Yeah. Says, hi, my name's Alaska. I'm 11 years old in the 5th grade. I'm writing to you to ask for your help. My mom is very upset about something on the internet about me with a picture. She says it's for adults. I shouldn't be on it. I've never seen it because I'm not allowed, but my whole family is super upset, and that makes me very sad. If I'm a kid, why would someone put me on a grown-up website? A grown-up website. I wish it was gone. Can you help me? I received this letter. A producer handed it to me. And in the first 10 seconds, I said, that is the most blatant and transparent attempt to manipulate me that I think I've seen in 12 years.
What do you mean? I don't understand. How is that manipulative? That's a child. They said because she couldn't come here because of the content, the producer said have her write a letter. So she sat down and she said...
Did you help her with that letter?
With spelling.
We did not ask your child to write a letter. That is an absolute wrong statement. We did not ask your child to write a letter. And if you want me to get the producer out here and you can look her in the eye and say that she told you that, I'll have her come out.
Okay.
So
because they said, well, that's sweet. Yeah, we'd love to have a letter. Bring it.
Whoa. You've now changed the story. You said we asked for a letter. Now you're saying we responded to the offer of a letter. Which is it?
You know what? I don't really know if it was like an offer or we were just talking with the producer. Like, it's a shame that Alaska couldn't come here and talk to you herself.
You know why she isn't here?
Because of the adult content of the show.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I know we didn't ask you for a letter, because I got 2 rules about children. 1, you never ask them to deal with adult issues, and you never hold them responsible for things they can't control.
Yeah, and she wanted to, she brought it up, can I write him a letter? And then the producer's like, that's great. Have her write it, and we'll pick it up with all the other things.
Did you want her to come on the show?
No, not the show.
If she had written me a letter,
I wanted her to come to Hollywood and have fun with us, but no, not to be here.
If she had written me a letter, and it was a genuine letter from her and not choreographed by her mother with her mother's words and terms in it, then I would have felt differently about it.
It's not choreographed by me, Dr. Phill, not at all. She was like, well, I don't want this on here. If you...
She must have been sitting down writing this while you were locking those albums. We'll meet another pageant mom who says Lori's extreme behavior makes other pageant moms look crazy right after the break.
Later, this mom got pregnant and ended up behind bars.
It was all consensual, and I did not know the age of this teenager.
Did you have sex with him?
Yes.
Was he 14?
Yes. No one knows my side of the story.
I have twin daughters that compete in pageants. They do wear fake hair, they do have spray tans, they wear makeup, fake eyelashes, but I don't do anything that endangers them in any way. We don't color eyelashes, we don't bleach teeth, and we don't color hair. My daughters and Alaska have competed at the same pageants. Lori is a very extreme pageant mom. I personally think that she's a lunatic. When you put your children in danger, things that can cause blindness, things that can damage their teeth and their hair for the rest of their life, that's not good parenting. That's actually child abuse.
Well, Kelly is joining us. Kelly, you say, quote, Lori is famous for being a lunatic. What do you mean?
Most of Lori's television debuts have featured her in a very extreme situation just like this. I'm a licensed cosmetologist.
Okay.
I went to school for thousands of hours to learn what is a safe practice. It's not safe for me to color your eyelashes.
You don't offer that service at the salon?
It's illegal to offer it in my state.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's
in
illegal
Ohio,
to offer it. Well, that statement that just ran up there in the bold print for everybody in this room to read said, not FDA approved. There is no product that's FDA approved to color eyelashes. It's for eyes.
Let me interrupt
And you can
here.
buy that at Sally's Beauty Supply.
That makes it perfectly safe.
I'm saying it's the same exact product they use in the salon.
Okay.
Go.
And you don't think the pictures that they just showed of your children in hair and makeup for pageants are just as provocative, age difference-wise, that could be put on his website by a man?
That looks like a little girl with her toe popped and her leg outside.
That there
Sure.
does not look like, does she look 6 or does she look 16?
She looks like a little girl with some makeup on.
You have a Greyhound bus. Just answer the question.
I have 2.
You have 2.
Yeah.
You have your daughter's pictures all across the whole bus.
Well, this is not really about my daughters, but yeah, if you want to know, I do.
It's about exposing children to the public. You go down the highway
with your
going to pageants
looking like
with
little
Gia
kids.
and Allie on the side.
Like
no, they're not. You have
kids.
glitz pictures on the side of your bus.
You have glitz pictures on that bus.
We don't even have that bus anymore. The one that we have now, just so you know, has no pictures
that's
on
how
it.
That was in your
But this is
episode.
not about me.
No, it's not. It's about
You're blaming Lori for dressing her children, and you dress your children the same way.
About how she was dressed.
Time out.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Phill.
Time out. There's a lot of criticism about pageants in general here. I got comments from all over the blogs about these things. A lot of pageant parents are outspoken, and they sound off on pageant forums, right? I mean, here are a few. Yes, the mom is a total whack job. Her Facebook page is open. There are zillions of pics of kids. Braxton's face is frozen. Same dead eye smile in each photo. Creepy little kid. Now,
I don't think that's funny.
I think that's horrible, and for all of you to laugh.
You guys
wait a minute.
Put your kids in these situations.
My point is, that's what you subject innocent children to. What is it that you want?
The biggest thing that's bothering me is the story on your website.
I will take it down if you can come to an admission that you are part of the problem that created this post in the first place.
I am part of the problem by allowing my children to be on a reality television show so that man could see her.
So you were accepting blame for it.
I'm accepting blame for deciding to put my child on a reality TV show so weirdos could see her. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And I appreciate if you take it down.
He said he would.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting the blame.
Well, I accept the blame for going on reality TV, but I'm not going to apologize for our lifestyle.
Don't talk past the close. Woman, you need to know when to stop talking. You got what you wanted, right? Did you get what you wanted? Nobody's asked my opinion, but I'll give it to you. I think the risk-reward ratio here is really bad. The risk balanced against the reward for putting your children in this internet environment and television environment is a whole different situation than it was even 10 years ago. I think it is very risky because those pictures can be jacked up off of your Facebook page. They can be actually put on porn sites. And if that is troubling to you, then you don't create the images, and then they can't be used. All right, we have to stop this conversation. When we come back, we're going to talk to a mother who had sex with a 14-year-old boy and may well have had his baby. What was she thinking? We'll talk to her next.
We got drunk together. We ended up sleeping together. He was very mature. I had no idea he was 14.
Well, there is another mom in the headlines, a mom of three, actually. Brittany says when she met a handsome young new man, she just really relished the attention. He was just sweet and talking to her, told her she was beautiful, and said how lucky he felt to be with her.
When I first met the father of my son, I already had 2 children. I got into a fight with my former fiance. I was upset and I went to my sister's house. He was there and he was consoling me. He was very mature. We got drunk together. We ended up sleeping together. It happened so fast. I didn't know whether he wore a condom. I had no idea he was 14.
She never imagined that their one-night stand would land her right behind bars, charged with the unthinkable.
The next month, I took a pregnancy test. I told my fiance I was pregnant. I also told the 14-year-old that the baby could possibly be his. He was excited. A week or 2 later, his mom called me. She told me that her son was 14 when we had sex. She told me she could press charges against me. She ended up going to the cops. I told the police that the 14-year-old was not the father, that we did not sleep together. I was arrested the day after I had the baby. The 14-year-old and his mother called me and asked for custody of the baby, or they were pressing charges. I asked them what for, and they told me sexual assault. I thought for sure I wasn't going to get sent to prison because of the fact I just had a newborn baby. I started crying, hysterically crying. I just had a baby. He's only 3 days old. You can't put me in prison. Next thing I know, I was in prison. It was terrible. My name and face was just plastered all over the paper. My picture was right there along with 2 couples for touching little kids. Nobody knows the full story, and it looked like I raped this boy. I'm labeled as a sex offender. I didn't feel like I sexually assaulted anybody.
Let's start with your last statement. Why is that? Why is it you say you didn't feel like you sexually assaulted anyone?
Well, Dr. Phill, because it was all consensual, and I did not know the age of this teenager.
You understand that 14-year-old children don't have the legal capacity or the real-world capacity to give consent, right?
Yes, I understand that now.
You understand that now?
Yes.
And let me just go over the law in your state for you. A felony of the second degree. A person commits a felony of the second degree when that person engages in sexual intercourse with a complainant to whom the person is not married, who is under the age of 16 years. That's why people are looking at you like you raped a child.
Well, no one knows my side of the story. I did not know he was 14, so that's why I feel I did not sexually assault him.
But you did. Did you have sex with him?
Yes.
Was he 14?
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty simple. But you said nobody knows the circumstances. Your brother and sister pushed this, right? They said, you know, you should meet him and he should meet you and all that, right?
Right.
How old do you think he was?
My brother's age, who would have been 18, 19 at the time.
Mm-hmm. And who got passed out drunk?
We all did by the end of the night.
Okay. He got in a fight with an older guy.
Correct.
Cops were called.
Yes.
Right. You have a fiance.
Yes.
Where's your fiance?
He was out of town working.
But you're over with some other people getting pass out drunk, having sex with a 14-year-old. Cops are called, fight breaks out. And you know this was a good idea. Why? What was it? Somebody that thinks you're cute, so what the hell?
Just trying to feel better.
And how'd that work out for you?
Well, here I am sitting with you, Dr. Phill.
And you've been to prison, right, to put you in jail.
So it hasn't ended up great at all so far.
You know, I would think that you were just dumber than a box of rocks if I looked at everything you were doing.
I would agree.
But then I look back further, because you have not had a smooth ride in this world. Would that be accurate?
That would be very accurate.
But you have to dramatically disrupt the flow of your life right now, because it is train wreck after train wreck after train wreck. And something's got to happen to change that. True?
True.
All right. We're going to hear from the teen boy who Brittany had sex with when he was 14 years old, which resulted in her arrest and being placed on 2 years of probation. You might be very interested to hear what he has to say. We'll be right back.
Neither of the men want anything to do with my son right now. My name and face was just plastered all over the paper, right there along with 2 other married couples for touching little kids. It made me feel dirty. I have 3 children. I can't get a decent job. I paid the price for everything.
Well, we got a statement from this teenage individual, and here's what he said. What happened, happened. We had sex, and it was consensual. I do not think that she should have been punished for what happened and feel she was an idiot for taking that plea deal. I was willing to sleep with her. It was not like she grabbed a kid off the street and raped someone. She was sleeping with someone else at the time, and I am more than willing to take a DNA test to find out if the baby is mine. You need to get a DNA test to find out who's the father of this child. They are entitled to know, and you need to know. And I will arrange for that to be done for you safely, and so everything is handled. I want to get you some help in the form of a professional that will sit down and sort some of this out for you, and a life coach that will help you get the right job, make the right decisions, hang with the right people, so you have somebody to check with along the way, somebody that will objectively and honestly guide you, somebody that will objectively and honestly help you. I mean, you have 3 children and no ability to provide for them. You don't have access to them right now. They're not in your custody, correct?
Correct.
You need a life coach. You need someone to help you learn what you didn't learn when you were growing up and should have. And rather than judge you, I want to help you.
Thank you.
And I will provide you with that professional help if you will agree to take it.
I'll take anything that will make a better life for my children. That's my main goal in life.
And the best way to do that is to take care of their mother. You
Absolutely.
can't give away what you don't have. And I don't want you to continue the legacy that you've gotten. So I'm going to set that up for you the minute we walk off of this stage.
Thank you.
Okay, fair enough?
Thanks.
I would like to thank all of my guests today, including Nick Ritchie from TheDirty.com. Thanks so much for being here. So long. Thanks, guys.
Today on Dr. Phill.
I'm scared to death of my son.
They claim they're terrorized.
You say your daughter's abuse is so bad that you dream about killing her.
By their own children.
Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Like this in your face. Mom, listen to me, Mom, listen to me.
Well, I can't understand how in the world they have trouble communicating.
The physical.
Do you manage your mother by intimidation?
No.
I don't believe that, and I don't believe you believe it.
And emotional toll.
I don't know how much better role model I can be. You're perfect. You're a great role model. And we all can't stand to be around you.
Is it parental abuse?
Dr. Phill, I suffer every type of abuse. Emotional, physical, verbal, mental. The person who's doing this to me just needs to vanish.
Dr. Phill, I need your help so desperately. I am in a very abusive relationship with someone I love very much. He makes my hair stand up on end. I'm in fear all the time.
Please help.
Those 2 women say they are embarrassed by the abuse they endure day in and day out, from intimidating, in-your-face threats, all the way to hitting, slapping, and being pushed down the stairs. But there is a huge problem for them both. Divorcing their abusers is not an option, because they say the person terrorizing them is not their spouse, but their own adult child. Now, mothers Debbie and Joanne are here, and both say they feel more like battered wives than loving mothers. Now, Debbie, you say your 31-year-old daughter Amy's abuse is so bad that you actually dream about killing her, true?
True. It's a horrible thing to want to feel or say. You're just so desperate to have the abuse stop.
You don't actually want her to die, of course. You just want the pain to stop. You want the conflict to stop.
Yes.
And Joanne, you're worried that your 28-year-old son, Jonathan, could become so angry that he could hurt you, even by accident when he's raging.
Yes, Dr. Phill. He is so outraged sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just so scared all the time.
You don't know how to stand up to it. There's a huge difference in size and power, right?
I can't stand up to him. You know, it's just very scary all the time.
Why did you want to be here today?
Because I want to have a loving, normal, healthy relationship with my daughter, and I want to be free from the burdens of the drama that she creates in my life.
But why here? Why now?
I have nowhere else to turn. I'm desperate. I've tried every avenue. This was my last resort.
Why for you? Why do you want to be here? Why now?
This is a last resort for me as well. I'm just so desperate for my son to get help.
Well, the truth is, I wish you would have both come here first instead of last, because maybe we would have saved a lot of time and a lot of trouble. We'll see. Debbie says her daughter Amy makes her life so miserable she wishes she would just vanish. Take a look.
Amy is abusive to me. She's over the top, volatile, calls me everything in the book. You, the Word, bitch. Amy is belligerent. She's a spoiled brat. She makes my life miserable. The first time I ever noticed any physical abuse was when Amy was 16. She's shoving and kicking and biting me and pulling my hair and pushing me down my own staircase. I have no idea why I didn't call the police. I guess I'm thinking that she's 16, she's a child. Amy is 15 years older now, and she is worse than ever. The last time Amy was physical with me was about a month ago. She pushed and shoved me into the wall. She kicked me, she pulled my hair. She slapped me. Oh, she slapped me good. There's days when I'm so overwhelmed and I think horrible thoughts. Sometimes I just wish I could just put a pillow over her head, just make her go away. I just don't want her to live with me this way, and I don't want her to live in this world this way.
Well, Amy actually admits to being cruel and nasty towards her mother, but says that Debbie is far from innocent when it comes to abusive behavior. Let's hear her side.
My mom is mean and nasty and a psycho. She doesn't realize how critical she can be. My mom says that I'm white trash. She definitely thinks that I'm way, way beneath her. My mom tells me I've failed. I'll never be good enough. There's only so many. Never mind.
Whatever, Amy, this is where we come into a roadblock because we just gonna agree to disagree.
When we argue, in her eyes, it is my fault. I'm all to blame. Can't hear you. I know she says I've slapped her, punched her, scratched her, but I've never done any of that. I've only pushed her against the wall to get out of the way and get away from her. She claims I pushed her down the stairs then. I don't remember that. My mom is a pathological liar. When I was 16, my mom found cigarettes in the trunk of my car. She held a knife to my throat, said she would kill me, lit up the cigarette and burned me with it, and wanted to make me smoke the whole pack. She can be a raging bitch.
I sense that you disagree with a lot of what was said there.
Yeah, I do.
But your daughter's here, of course, and you're okay with me bringing her out. We're going to talk to her. We're going to get to the bottom of this, I hope.
Good.
Okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's bring Amy out. Amy, Dr. Phill, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat. You know, one of the things that I think people would say about me is that I get to it quick. You know, I could see you guys in private practice and we could sit there and I could go, yes, and how does that make you feel? And yes, how does that make you feel? And how does it make you feel that she feels that way about the way you feel? You know, we could go through all of this typical model, but that's not what I like to do. I like to get to the point and deal with things efficiently, and that requires something here. It requires you and you to make a threshold decision. And the threshold decision is that you're going to be honest. You're not going to spin it. You're not going to try to cover your ass. You're not going to try to put the best look to this that you possibly can. You're just going to be honest, because I assume you want this to change, right?
It has to.
Why?
Because I'm going to end up in a mental institute if it doesn't.
Are you prepared to be just completely honest here?
Absolutely, completely honest.
Because nobody's perfect in these matters. Are you willing to be honest?
I'm willing to be honest. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm here to try to figure out what they are and how to move forward.
Did she lie in her tape?
Yeah, I never came at you with a knife.
She said you held a knife to her throat. That is a life-threatening action, and you don't tell me you don't remember. Let's see, did I do that?
No,
that's not lost in the background of your life. If you hold a knife to your child's throat, you don't forget that.
You saw in the video she wants me dead.
Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Yeah.
And later...
Mom, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, Mom, listen to me.
We were at my store and we were having another discussion about either her being late or her taking money out of my business, and I grabbed her arm as she's trying to leave, and she pushed and shoved me and kicked me, trying to come after me. I threw one of the dog kennels in her way to block her. She went and hit the floor. And at that point, I really didn't even care if she was hurt, because I know that her intention was to hurt me badly.
she said you held a knife to her throat. That is a life-threatening action. And you don't tell me you don't remember. Let's see, did I do that?
No,
that's
I
not
can't
lost
even...
in the background of your life. If you hold a knife to your child's throat, you don't forget that.
You saw in the video she wants me dead.
No,
that is not a lie.
I don't want you dead, Amy. Yeah, I love you. I want the pain to stop.
You want me to vanish.
No,
Dead is good.
I never came at you with a knife or ever put a knife to your throat or anything ever.
Right.
I know I do remember
saying,
saying, okay, you know what? You want to smoke a cigarette? Smoke the whole pack. Make yourself so sick you'll never smoke again. Well, that didn't work. But,
did you burn her with a cigarette?
I don't ever remember burning her with a cigarette. I might, if I did, if she claims I did, it was in pure accident. I never, and I'm totally being honest with you.
But that's not what you said. You said she got a cigarette, she lit it, got it burning hot, and burned you with it.
Burned my shirt with it, yes.
Burned your shirt or burned you?
Well, she was trying to burn me, yeah. I had clothes on.
I probably did burn your shirt. I was probably trying to ruin something because I'm trying to get your attention. But no, I never came at you to hurt you or burn you.
Okay.
This is why I say we're going to have to agree to disagree because you...
If she can't be honest, this is not going to happen.
Well,
and
let's see
where
you are on the honesty scale here. Do you have any ownership in this situation at all?
Absolutely.
Okay, what? What are you doing that's inappropriate here?
I'm not being the bigger person and refusing to get involved in her...
Well, you're sitting here kind of self-righteously and sanctimoniously. This just won't work. She isn't going to be honest. Let's see if you're going to be honest. Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Yeah. I mess with her a lot.
Why would you say that grinning ear to ear? You threatened to burn the woman's house down?
Because there's nothing I can do to her. There's nothing. I cannot get her to listen to me. I can't. She can hurt me and hurt me and hurt me all she wants, and I can do nothing.
Did you threaten to burn her clothes?
Yeah.
Now, you're a guest in her home, right?
Yeah.
You live in her home, under her roof, at her expense. So why do you live in her house?
She invited me. She took me out of my apartment, which I was doing just fine in for 5 years.
But why do you stay? Why did you say yes? Why don't you move out?
Because now I'm in a position where I can't get out yet.
Why?
Because I don't make enough money to move out.
Do you pay any rent? Do you pay utilities?
Rent
do
was,
you pay
all
anything?
the utilities, well, not all of the utilities, but there are utilities in my name. Don't laugh.
Okay.
I'll take them out of my name then. How's that? Okay? Because when I get home, back to back, I'm gone.
Amy.
I'm gone. Dead to you.
Amy, I know you think you're dead to me. You're not. I'm here because I want some help. And I want you to understand how you contribute to your own demise and how you affect everybody in the family, not just me.
It's all me, okay?
Well, actually, it's not. But you said, did you say that she is a psycho raging bitch?
Yep. Because she is. You don't like me.
Amy,
it's plain and simple.
Amy,
that's all it comes.
Firstborn. I love you very much. You were the best thing that ever
but
happened to me.
But I took away your husband. But
Amy, you tend to want, because you were the center of attention as a child, you still wanted the spotlight, and you do, even if it's negative attention, you want it.
Are you messing with drugs?
No, I did back in my younger days, 10 years ago.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Did you find some crystal meth in her purse recently?
Yep, I did.
How recently?
It was September 9th.
What were you doing with crystal meth in your purse?
Her room, it's a filthy, disgusting mess. She smokes in her room, and I said no smoking. She throws clothes all over the place. Now she brings a cat into the house, poop all over the place. She says, get used to it or off, Mom.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Did you find some crystal meth in her purse recently?
Yep.
What were you doing with crystal meth in your purse?
Being stupid.
So you were doing drugs?
For a day. I mean,
for a day.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if you just do crystal meth for a day.
Because what I used to do was every day.
Okay, but so...
For years.
Okay, you did it every day for
that's
years.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Could you pass a drug test
Yes.
right now? If I give you a drug test right now, you can pass it.
Yes.
Because if you were on drugs, that would determine erratic behavior, perhaps, particularly if you're doing them on and off and on and off.
No. My behavior's always been the same. Right? It's always been the same.
Amy,
you've never changed.
Debbie says stealing money straight from her businesses is not okay with you. That's
It's
just
not okay
theft,
with
right?
me. Then come run your own business
And
or
it's
pay me.
one of many examples that you say you need help with
I
because
do.
you've got some sense of entitlement, according to you. Take a look at this.
I have spent over $100,000 in the last 12 years in support for my daughter and her children, and all I've gotten back is abuse. So she moves in. 3 weeks later, my husband moves out because he didn't want to be around the drama with Amy.
That's ridiculous.
Her room, it's a filthy, disgusting mess. She smokes in her room, and I said no smoking. She throws clothes all over the place. Now she brings a cat into the house, poop all over the place. She says, get used to it or off, Mom. You're just a royal bitch. You're a royal pain in my ass. Stay out of my damn room.
I do a lot around the house to help out. If I vacuum, I didn't mop. There's always something I didn't do.
I come home with a week's worth of dishes laying in the sink.
The other day, she told me she would call the sheriff if the dishes weren't done. It's not even logical. She wants her house to be a model home all the time. I don't know why.
If Amy didn't have kids, she would not be living here. Absolutely not. I don't know where she'd be, on the street, some guy's couch. I don't care.
But you do care.
I do care.
Why do you say you don't care?
You know, because the more I help Amy, it doesn't seem like it helps Amy. And so I have tried to, okay, Mom, when she had her apartment, I paid her electric bill. I bought her groceries. I paid her rent when she was short. Whatever I had to do, I did to help her out. And that didn't work. And I said, you know what, Amy, I can't keep this up. Not that you need it all the time, but, you know, you can make the choice. You can either, you're getting evicted. You can either come into my
Do you demean
house.
her?
Do I demean her?
Yeah. Do you say you're a failure? You're a bad mother? You're worthless? I mean, do you demean her? Do you put her down?
I do think her mothering skills are not great. I know I've told her, your mother, you suck as a mom. You're not here with your children. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. How can you leave dishes in the sink for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days in a row? How can their children be digging through the dirty clothes for something to wear to school?
So I'd say that's a big yes. You do demean her.
Yes.
Okay. Are you not doing your job as a mother?
I'm not her, but my kid, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so you are being a good mother.
Yes.
Okay, you had crystal meth in your purse a month ago. Okay, is that being a good mother?
I suppose not.
Okay, so you could have at least said, well, as far as having drugs in my purse a month ago, no. I would have to give you that one, Dr. Phill, but my kids don't get dressed out of a dirty laundry basket. I don't have a filthy room. Did you go in and spread cat around the room before we videotaped it?
No, I did not.
Then you got a dirty room.
No. Oh, that was a clean day, though.
My whole life is in one room. Sorry if it's
And I gave you
cluttered.
the second largest room in the house.
Do
I
you
don't care.
really
I don't care.
want to heal this relationship?
I don't care about it anymore. She doesn't care about me. She wants me dead. I don't care.
do.
I just don't
What do you
care
think
anymore.
I'm here for?
She doesn't care about me. She doesn't love me. She wants to make sure that I know that she's better than me.
No.
Yes.
Amy, I don't
my
want to
boyfriend,
sit here and
your
argue.
boyfriend doesn't love you. I know. Your boyfriend doesn't want you anymore. He doesn't want anything to do with you. My credit's better than yours.
Amy, I'm trying to teach
I know.
you
You're
to be
so much better
responsible.
than me.
I don't know how much better role model I can be.
Yeah, I know.
when
You're
I'm
perfect. You're great. You're a great role model.
And I've been a single parent.
And
I've done it.
and we all can't stand to be around you.
We'll be right back.
Just, oh no, done.
Amy,
Done, I can't. No.
Amy has taken approximately $1,800 out of my business over the last year.
I don't steal. I just take an advance.
I call it theft.
I either pay the money back in tips or it's taken out of my check. It's just that I don't make a whole lot of money and I need to get through till my next paycheck.
On several occasions, she's taken every last dime out of the register, and my employees will come to work and they'll say, Debbie, there's no money. How do you want us to operate today?
I'm interested in why you believe you are entitled to go into your mother's business and just take cash.
I'm not.
Then why did you do it?
Because she made me mad.
Okay, so you decide she said something you don't like, so you are entitled to take her money and go do whatever with it. Okay, and then you say, I don't know why she doesn't respect me. You steal from her. That is not okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
No.
You understand, if you worked for somebody else, they would call the police.
Yep.
And you would be in jail. So you're not entitled to it. You've got to stop that kind of behavior. You're living in her house for free.
Yep, I'm playing her game and it's wrong.
You're living in her house for free. You're working for her. Basically, but for her, you would be in a real tough spot financially and roof-wise for your kids, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and you hate that.
Yep.
So why does hearing that upset you so much that you can barely breathe?
Because she put me in this position. I'm just... Oh, no, I'm done.
Amy,
done. I
Amy.
can't. No.
Okay, if you're going to leave, you got to go this way.
Amy.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, if you're going to leave, you got to go that way. All right, there you go.
Oh. How do you help that?
Okay, look, obviously this isn't working, right? And what she's interested in is being away from you, but she can't. She can't get away from you, right? Because she's living in your house, you're paying her salary, you're paying a whole lot of other things as well.
Right.
So basically, you've got your financial hooks in her, so she can't get away from you.
She feels like she's being controlled. I'm not controlling her.
Well, no, you are controlling her. Whether it's your intention or not, you're controlling her because you pay her, you house her, all of that, and you say you do it because of the grandchildren. You said, but for them, she could just go do whatever she wanted to do. First thing you got to do is get her out of your house. Get her out of your house. Get her out of your house.
Oh.
Well, do whatever you have to do. Give her a rent stipend for a period of time. Get her out of your house. Help her find another job. This being inextricably intertwined in each other's lives is not working. It isn't working. You're in each other's way. She resents you for what you do for her.
Right.
You resent her for taking what you give her, and then you criticize her for not doing things the way you would do them. She needs to live on her own. And you need to find something that girl is doing that you can reinforce, that you can praise, that you can say something nice about.
And I have.
Because I got the sneaking suspicion that you are like fingernails on a chalkboard when it comes to criticism.
Yeah.
But you've got to start getting some separateness here, and you've got to find her doing some things right, and you've got to let her know that you believe in her.
I do, and I've praised her.
It doesn't help that you know it. What helps is if she knows it. And listen, perception is reality, and her perception is you are not proud of her. You are not accepting of her. You are not happy with her. There's nothing about her that you think is okay. When you're dealing with your kid, it takes 1,000 attaboys to erase one, you're not good enough.
Okay.
And you two are going to need some help redefining this. And I will get you that help. I will get you somebody that will sit down with the two of you and help you negotiate a new relationship.
Yeah.
The issue here is she's not proud of where she is in her life right now, and she doesn't need you to rub salt in that wound, but boy, you are quick to do it. Now, I want to talk to this other mother that was here. And I want you to listen to everything I'm going to say to her.
Okay.
Everything I'm going to say to her will fit in your ear just perfect. So coming up, I'm going to talk to the other mom we met at the top of the show. She says she's scared to death of her 28-year-old son. And when we got parents and children fighting, getting in each other's face physically, something's gone way wrong. That's not the design. That's not my idea of the phenomenal family. We'll be right back.
My son is very scary and intimidating. He gets in my face and he talks down to me.
She chooses to push my buttons, and she expects me to calm down because she's the mom.
Okay, we're back. I had been talking with Amy and Debbie, and then Amy decided she wanted to leave. And by the way, Debbie, she's upstairs, and I'm happy to talk to her if she's got questions, but I don't chase people, and I'm not going to reward that behavior by chasing her. So we are moving on. Now, Joanne says that she truly believes that her son Jonathan needs mental help. Her words, not mine, because of how abusive she says he is towards her. Take a look.
My son is very scary and intimidating. He reprimands me when he speaks to me.
I do get loud with her. When she yells and screams at me, I don't sit back and take it. I yell and scream right back at her.
He gets in my face and he talks down to me.
I was a correctional officer, and she's afraid that I'm going to go off the handle and beat her like I would beat an inmate.
He's Mom, 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 and he jumps up and down, and sometimes he starts crying because he's like so enraged.
She makes me look like the bad guy that she's in fear of me, because I'm 6'1", you know, and she's only 5'4".
The saliva in my face, the mouth all like curled up and foam coming out of his mouth, literally.
Let me tell you, that little 5'0" woman that she is has put me up against the wall plenty of times. She's the one to be feared.
One time, Jonathan got so outraged, he put his hands around my husband's neck and was just choking him.
She chooses to push my buttons, and she expects me to calm down because she's the mom.
I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself or my grandson. I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm beside myself. I can't stand being around him.
So what do you think about that tape as you watch it?
I never say anything to him. I don't even get a chance to speak to him because he's just outraged at me all the time.
How do you feel about your mother?
I love my mom a lot.
Are you unkind to her?
I'm not, to start with, no. When she starts on her tangents about things, I've gotten loud and I've yelled and screamed. Yeah, of course.
Of course? What do you mean, of course?
Well, because she yells and screams at me, so I'll yell and scream back at her.
That's not true, Jonathan. I never get a chance to say anything to you. The other day I called you up before the party and I said to you, Jonathan, please don't tell anybody that Heather's pregnant.
Yeah, why is that?
Because
right there. There's a topic
Jonathan,
in itself.
excuse me,
There's
Jonathan.
a topic in itself.
It wasn't the time or the place to say anything, especially when you were sitting down.
You approve?
Stop talking over me. We were sitting down 2.5 months ago with a different girl at the table for dinner. It wasn't Heather, it was a different girl. September 15th, you went off to Tennessee with another girl.
Mom, I did not go off to Tennessee with another girl.
You went another girl, Jonathan. Yes, you did, Jonathan.
So is your issue with me my love life, or is your issue with me my anger issues?
It's everything, Jonathan, everything.
Well, wait a minute.
Or is it my whole life altogether?
Wait a minute. Is this really... And I don't know, maybe I'm confused. Did you come here because he had one girl at his place one night and somebody else at his... Is that really what you want to spend your time with me talking about?
No, I'm scared to death of my son.
Because here's what I thought we were coming for. You say, and this is a quote from him, Jonathan, you say that you admit I am defiantly mean and nasty to her. I am definitely mean and nasty to her. You say, I am verbally abusive. I scream, leave me the alone. You say, I scream and yell at the top of my voice. I demand that she sit down and listen. If she would just shut up and listen, I wouldn't have to yell and scream and be so intimidating.
I would say, yeah, I said that, but it wasn't in those contexts per se.
Well, what per se context is that?
Well, what it is that she'll say stuff to set me off on purpose, and she'll bring my son involved in things, and she starts one thing, and then she starts talking about it. She says what she has to say, and then when I go to say something, she goes, stop disrespecting me. I'm your mother. Don't talk to me like that.
Okay, what were you just saying here?
It's all the time. It's
you
all
were
the time.
doing this
he gets up, and he's like this in your face. Mom, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, Mom, listen to me.
Is that true?
Listen to me, Mom. No. Takes off, slams the door, takes off with his son. Come on, Dylan. Practically chases his son out the door.
Is that true? Is that a fair characterization?
No. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I do scream. I take my son out of the house because I don't want to see the situation. Absolutely. I've had anger issues.
Do you do that?
No, not to that
Where
extent.
is she getting that? Because that's an odd thing to make up.
Listen. Okay. She's dramatizing it. She's making it worse than it is. Okay?
Let's ask Heather.
Let's leave Heather out of this.
No.
Let's leave your husband out. This is between me and you.
How did you act a couple weeks ago, Jonathan, when I tried to move?
Do you want to bring the whole family up here?
Or do you want? I'm talking about you.
Do you want to speak about your daughter? What she wants to say about things?
Do you want to have, Jonathan? I'm asking you.
Is this between me and you, or is this between everybody?
Jonathan, I'm asking you a question about when I was at your house 2 weeks ago. You're not answering why.
Well, I just can't understand how in the world they have trouble communicating. It seems to me. I just don't even know what to start working on, but I'll take a break and figure it out. Now, Joanne says she's not the only person her son bullies and intimidates. We're going to find out who she thinks is becoming Jonathan's next victim. Be right back.
I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm so scared of what's going to happen to my grandson and to my son. I'm really scared.
She's trying to be the parent. She oversteps her boundaries. She needs to step back and realize she's just a grandma.
Well, that was Joanne, who says she lives in fear that Jonathan's abuse is also directed at her grandson. Now, has Child Protective Services been involved here?
Yes, they have.
And you were restricted to only supervised visitation for 3 months?
I had a mental breakdown caused by issues that she did, things that she did.
She did?
Yes.
She drove you?
Yes, she drove me over the edge. Yes, she did. But she involves herself so far in my life, with my son's mom, with my females in my life, with my other family members, that I can't get away from her. Even when I try to push myself away from her, I can't get away from her.
You do strike me as somebody who has anger just kind of seething below the level here.
Yeah.
Because when she starts kind of nagging at you, and you do nag.
No, I don't.
Does she nag you at home?
Do I need to answer the question?
Jonathan?
Yeah. Well, he thinks you nag him at home, and I think maybe my definition of nagging and your definition of nagging may be two different things.
I can't.
But look, here's the question. Do you manage your mother by intimidation?
No.
I don't believe that, and I don't believe you believe it. You said it's the wrong context per se. I don't know what that means. I can look it up. But you said, I am verbally abusive. I tell her to leave me the alone. I do scream and yell at the top of my voice and demand that she sit down and listen. And if she would just sit down and listen, then I wouldn't have to be that way.
Absolutely.
Do you do this with your son?
No.
Do you do it in front of your son?
No, I try not to. I have.
So your son has seen you do this with her?
Yes.
So you're modeling that behavior for him. That's bad, right?
Yes, and I've realized that, and I've tried to overcome that, and I have overcome that, where I don't do it as much as I used to.
Okay, well, I want you to do it none.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm talking to you about
world.
it. Well, of course it's not. And she's not a perfect mother, but you're not a perfect son, so that has a certain symmetry to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're saying she does these things, which triggers me, it's a trigger. I don't want to do these things, and I recognize that I shouldn't do it, but I can tell you, Dr. Phill, what the trigger is. When she won't listen and keeps talking over me and I finally just, in fact, you said it, I snap. I snap on her because she doesn't think of the repercussions of her actions. She pushes my buttons. She knows what to say to get me going, and she does it on purpose. Such things as you're just like your father. Correct?
Absolutely.
Do I get it?
Absolutely.
Tell me if I run a red light here.
No, you got that to the
Okay,
T.
so she knows what your buttons are. She pushes those buttons until you snap, but then you do, and that's y'all's pattern here. Do you recognize that there are things that you're doing that might be contributing as triggers to some of his anger? Because see, well, see, here's the thing. When parents say and do things, it has an extra gravity besides somebody else saying and doing it. You know, you want your parents to approve of you. You want them to be proud of you. You want them to accept you. You want them to validate you. And if they get messages to the contrary, it really stings extra bad. So if you start taking his inventory, then that takes on an extra gravity with him. And so there might be some better ways to communicate. Now, you can't tell me that you think y'all's communication pattern is the best it can be.
No, it's not.
And it takes two to communicate, so you have to own your part of that.
Yes.
And that if I could arrange for you to learn some new ways to do that, you would embrace that happily, because you said you want him back, and that would help you do that.
Yes.
Okay? I'm done with you for a minute.
Okay.
What the hell are you thinking? There's no theory under which somebody is... Stand up. Stand up. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. You are a big guy. You are an intimidating guy. And if you are using that physical power to impose your will on someone as small as she is, and you say, oh yeah, she's small, but boy, she can bring hell in a hurry. I get that. But you have an imposing nature here. Just look at the difference. Look her in the eye. Now, I know you've looked at her a lot, but no, look at her in the eye. No, look at him in the eye. Don't stop. Look at him in the eye. I just want you to look at your mom. What would it mean to you if you could bring a lot of joy in her life?
It means a lot to me.
Why? Tell her why.
I'm a good dad, and you and my father taught me how to be that person. And I wish you would just respect me and wish that you would just allow me to be the father of my son.
Tell her what that would mean to you.
If that happened, if you allowed me to make my choices in my life and decisions in my life, things I think would be a lot smoother if you just sat back and be grandmom to my son instead of trying to be the mother and trying to push me and his mother out of the picture all the time. That's the way I feel. Then a lot of these issues wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't get so angry. I wouldn't get so mad.
And how would it feel in here if you knew that she accepted you, supported you, and was proud of you?
Oh, it'd feel great. But she doesn't.
Then tell her, I ask you to give me that.
I ask you to give me your support no matter what decisions I make and what I do. Even if they're the wrong ones, that you stand by me and guide me the right way, but not tell me that I'm doing stuff wrong.
Yeah. Okay, y'all sit down for a second. Now, why did I not want you to say anything?
You wanted me to listen to him.
I want you to not only listen to him, I want you to kind of weigh it. Sometimes you have to hear what isn't said. Look, it's not easy to be a single dad. It's not easy, and you do make mistakes, and you do get frustrated. And what I want you to know is that there is no time that it is acceptable for you to be abusive to another person. Not your son, not your mother. And if you do it because you can, because you're bigger, you're stronger, you're louder, then that's just being a bully. And your son doesn't need a bully. He needs a soft place to fall with a father that loves him and guides him. Your mother needs for you to conduct yourself in a controlled fashion. And if you can't, because she's pushing buttons, whether she intends to or otherwise, then you need to take yourself out of the situation.
Which I've tried to.
It's unbecoming to you as a man. It's unbecoming to you as a father to impose your will on a woman, impose your will on a child. That's unbecoming to you. That's not the role of the man in the family. You need to be a provider and a protector and a leader and a teacher. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have justifications for irritation, that she may not cross the line and create problems for you. I get that, I really do. But meaning because you have a justification to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And I'm calling on you as a man to say, I'm going to resolve that I am going to conduct myself with dignity and respect, even if I don't get it. But you need to resolve that, you know what, if I'm going to be a man, if I'm going to be a father, I need to require more of myself than what I have in the past. And if you do have issues with anger, there are ways to handle that, and I will get you help with that. But I want you to claim a peace in your life and a peace in your interactions and just not be around people who pull your triggers. And if you're around him and they pull the trigger, then you leave. And soon we'll learn. If I don't do that, he stays around and we're joyful. And if I do, he goes away. You know, it's a pretty simple metric here. And I'm going to give you some skills to do that with, where you can elicit from other people what you really wish you were getting instead of what you are getting. There's a way to do that. There truly is. Because you're a very charming guy, and so you can use that to your advantage.
Handsome too, isn't he?
But, pardon me?
He's handsome.
He's pretty easy on the eyes. I mean, I understand there might be a few girls around, as you pointed out to us. And we'll be right back. Well, I want to thank all of my guests today. Look, family is sometimes many-layered, and it's really complex. But it is family, and it's worth that extra effort. More information about all of this, go to drphil.com. Thanks for being here. So long. See you guys.
I walked off the stage because I'm not interested in fighting with my mom. Some of the things that she said, how she wants me dead, wants me to vanish. I can't forgive her for that. From being on the show today, I got the motivation to leave. When I get home, my bags will be packed. I don't see reconciliation a possibility. She needs to take a good look at herself before I'm willing to do that.